Well, hello, everyone. Glad that you can make it for us to talk a little bit more about the supervisor and CSR certification. So there's a couple of things we want to do today. Just to explain what the CSR and supervisor certification is, give you the overview and an overview of the process as well, and also talk about recertification. And then what we want to really delve into is what it means to your organization. And I have a couple of friends that are going to join today on this. But I'm going to hand this over to Erica, and she's going to walk you through some of the basics on this.
So I'm just going to let you guys know the requirements and a little bit of overview of each of the programs. So the CSR or agent certification program is for the TAS and call center industry to certify and accredit their agents. So the goal of the certification program is for your call center to offer your agents a professionally prepared program where they can be tested and accredited in the TAS and customer service skill set and using the features of the accredited TAS platform. So making sure that we're all exuding excellence. So if the successful candidates have demonstrated excellence in these areas, they will have successfully passed a written exam on call handling skill sets and also passed an oral interview with one of our certified examiners. So that oral interview tests customer service issues and also problem calls.
And when you are setting this all up, we get the schedule for the agent for the CSR. And we go through, it's Dan LaRue from Team Snug that's doing a lot of the certification. So we'll make sure that it works for your agent's schedule.
So for the supervisor program, it's a certification program because the manager that you have believes that you have the potential to lead, coach, and support your agents. It's very important in a supervisor position. As part of the examination, they'll be given problems and case studies to work through. We have been working diligently on our case studies so far, so they will be changing slightly in the future. Candidates will also answer an essay form about system operations and procedures. And it is much of a test of character as it is a test of knowledge.
I just want to touch on the updated case studies. We were working on this, but also ATSI, our sister association in the United States, they had been working on it too. And they developed a whole update in case studies, and we're adding to that with some positive references. So we had a lot of really skilled eyes on these on upgrading all of this. And we're really, really happy with the results of it.
So for the supervisor program, for them to be accredited in the supervisor program, they have to complete a minimum of credits. So these credits are broken down into two categories. We have a training category and a contribution category. Later on in a couple of slides, I'll show you just exactly how you can gain credits for those categories. The only requirement is that each of the categories have 4 credits in them. So you have to have 4 in training and 4 in contribution. That'll leave you with a remaining 4 that you can choose which category you'd like to put those into. And I'd like to make a point that says you can certainly have more than 12 credits in the year, but you can't carry them over. So once that year is completed, then we're going to start fresh and we're going to do it all over again. So the year for certification is May 1st to April 30th. And I actually have everyone in my calendar right now. So if you are certified, I'm going to be reaching out to the listserv and reminding you guys to start getting your credits in, filling out your sheets, and making sure that I get all that information.
And I just want to add to this too, is that we are using Team Snug as our vendor. So when we wanted to develop CSR and supervisor certification, we didn't need to reinvent the wheel because they had such a robust, wonderful program that was already happening. But when we looked at it, it didn't have recertification on it. And what we felt was that you can get certified, but you still have to keep learning. You can't just have a certification from 5 years ago and say, oh yeah, I'm certified. You have to keep learning. So that's where CAM-X added the recertification part of this. And Erica can look at, she'll look at the breakdown in just a minute. But anyway, we're going to go to the process. Erica?
So if you'd like to be certified, you can contact Linda or myself, Linda at CAM-X.ca or Erica at CAM-X.ca. We will provide you with an application. There are fees for it, so $80 per CSR and $130 for your supervisor. And of course, if you buy in bulk, we'll always give a discount at CAM-X. So if you buy a 10-pack, you'll get a 10% discount. You choose your platform, which I'm going to let Linda speak to shortly about this.
So this was developed from Startel, from the Team Snug team. And again, when we were adopting this program for us, we realized that a lot of the Canadian users anyway are using MTELCO products or other products. So we took the certification and we developed it for all platforms. So we will, we now currently have MTELCO, CADCOM, call center anywhere, which is kind of getting outside of the traditional TAS industry and more into a call center environment. Startel, Zicho, Tascom, and Telescan, and some of those have joined through the years. But if you are using a platform that's not listed here, be sure to know that we will develop it for you. We were very instrumental in, coloring outside the lines here and making sure that we were not going to limit this to Startel only users.
So once you've finished the application and you've picked everything else, we have a welcome and instructions. It also contains a control number that is specific to your certification. We have a study guide that's available if anyone wants some help. You can always reach out to Linda and myself. The CSR exam is equipment related and comes with an oral test that we spoke about. And the supervisor exam has the equipment related reports, questions in the exam for personal work habits, and then those case studies that we were speaking about as well.
And this is not, there's not a lot of right or wrong answers with this when we get into the case study and the management style. This really is looking at the supervisor's management style. And so it really gives a broad spectrum for interpretation. And, I don't think I've ever had anyone that's gone through exams that were way off target. So again, it really is a personal management style that's looked at here, and it's good for everyone's personality.
So once you finish the certification, you're going to be presented with a certificate. The CSRs get their own certificate and the supervisors get their own certificate. There's a watermark on there for future years, and we will be providing you with a nice little shiny gold year sticker that you get to place on your certificate. And you also get a public recognition. So we will announce something on our listserv to let everyone know that you've been certified. So the process for the recertification ensures that the supervisors continually review and surpass the same high standards demonstrated during the initial certification process. So like Linda was saying, we want to make sure that we're doing this every year. It's not something that 5 years later, you can say, I'm certified on that, and your work habits have changed or things have changed for you. So we maintain that. The status requires ongoing commitment to the individual, as well as the company and CAM-X, the association. The 12 credits that I was speaking out are required again, and then a minimum of the 4 credits in each training and contribution. And here's how you guys can gain those credits. So for the training, you can come to a CAM-X Coach U or a CAM-X convention, or you can come to one of our webinars, which we're all doing right now. You can do outside training. So they're broken down into hours, 2 to 4 hours or 5 to 8, and you can attend an outside webinar as well.
And that is like outside of CAM-X, that could be your user group. It could be something that you're taking at high school, university, college courses, anything that's outside that continues your learning.
And then for contribution, so a speaker at a CAM-X Coach U or a CAM-X convention, we're always looking for speakers on things. So if you're interested, please reach out. You can become a member of a CAM-X committee, present a webinar, writing an article or book review for a supervisor listserv, and posting a question on the supervisor listserv. This is a huge one, very easy. If you have something that's on your mind and you'd like a little bit of insight from peers, please use the supervisor listserv. It is such a great tool for everyone to reach out to. And then you can also respond and share your ideas at the supervisor listserv for credits.
So when myself and Erica do the reminders for your certification, recertification, that's when the supervisor listserv kind of goes crazy. But there's again, we try to keep this front of mind throughout the year instead of just that last 30 days.
Mhm.
But it's certainly nice to see the activity that goes on, that's for sure. So now we're going to kind of get into what this means. So Erica, thank you very much. You've gone through like the logistics of the program.
Mhm.
And we do have sample exams, by the way. So some of you that are on here today may already be participating in this in the certification program. And you're just here for a refresher and to find out, what you can do within your organization to boost this up. But for those that haven't had a look at this at all, I can provide you with sample exams. And so you can have a look at them before you invest in this. And then you can, bring it back to your team and really look at this and pull it apart. So, the bottom line is you're making your employees feel of value to your organization. That was the reason why we wanted to, to start this. And it was really for stickiness, for retention. If you look at the agents and a lot of the times they come in at minimum wage. It may not be something that they aspired to do. Sometimes, you've got people that come into your organization that are just here until they find something else. And this really is looking at the CSR position as a career choice. And so again, for the accreditation. So, and to make sure that they're key players in the success of your company. Intercon messaging has been from the start. Pat Voss, a lot of you may know who she is. I take my hat off to her every time I talk about her. She really was in the forefront of investing in her staff. She's used all kinds of training opportunities, etc. But what, the simple thing for them is the benefit of certification for us has been standardizing levels of service for our clients and building confidence and capability in our agents. So that has really been at the forefront for them. Now I would really like to turn this over to Kelly at MedCom Keystone, and I'm going to have her, I'm just going to see if I can spotlight you, Kelly. Yeah, there you go. Let's see if we can do this. No, I can't. Kelly, I'll just hand it over to you, and please share with us what this means to your company.
Okay, hi, I'm Kelly Goodwin with Keystone Answering Service. We're based right outside of Philadelphia in the States. Our certification, I will tell you that the owner of our company was the president of SNUG years back and pioneered developing certification, both agents, supervisor, and the SNUG offers a site certification as well. And we have since that time been investing in our staff in these programs. Every one of our staff members, all of our agents are certified, and all of our supervisors are certified. It's really a requirement of the job here, and that's the goal that they want to reach. So when we first, when we're recruiting new employees, we actually use it as a recruitment tool to discuss that once they've been with the company for X amount of time, and we realize that they've reached the skill level that's needed to complete the certification, that they have the skill set to pass the certification, then they would take that certification, and then there's an opportunity to move up. And if they at any point desire to become a supervisor, there's an opportunity for them to become certified as a supervisor. In using these tools in our location, we also utilize them as an opportunity to move up in the company. So when an employee is hired, they start at one specific wage. When you reach the first level, which is agent certification, once that's passed, you receive a wage increase here, along with a bonus for completing the certification. It's advertised here throughout our staff. We, shine a lot of light on it. It's very important that people know that they've completed the certification, they've passed the test. They are also given the certificate and the award to go with it. And then, as they are employed with us, they realize that, yes, there's still another level to reach. They can reach for the supervisor level if they desire to become a leader within our organization. That certification also comes with another wage increase and another bonus tied to it. Most of our staff members, we have found that, they are eager to reach these new levels. For the obvious reason for the pay increase, but also for the recognition and to be given additional duties and additional responsibilities, and to just feel as, they're moving forward. They're not kind of, stagnant in the position they're in. We want everyone to feel that they can continue to grow within our organization. So it has been, a great tool here to not only to attract employees, because they realize that, if we offer a wage to them coming in, that very quickly they could move up wage-wise within 6 months if they're to complete this. It is attractive to our current staff members as they want to, move up the next level. And it helps us retain our staff members as they realize that we're investing in them consistently. We don't just do certification. Obviously, we do many other training opportunities, but this is just one of the opportunities we offer our staff members to make sure that they're moving along in the process. Everybody wants to continue to grow within their position and wants to continue to be educated. No one, a successful employee wants to continue to learn new things. So it's very motivational for them. We also market the information. So we use it when we are soliciting sales for new clients. We are very outspoken that all of our staff members are certified and that all of our supervisors are certified. We target some very high-end medical clients, and it is very attractive to them. It has allowed us to add clients that maybe we wouldn't have added. We may charge a little more than our local competitors, but this allows us to stand out and be different from those who are our local competitors. And we have definitely added business based on the fact that we are certified. It's very, especially we are predominantly medical, although we do have some commercial business too, but it's very attractive in the medical community that you have certifications and you're investing in your staff and making sure that we're all using standardized procedures. So we, from the time they're certified all the way, including sales, I mean, we're using this as a tool, every avenue of our business, to sharing it with, potential customers, potential employees. We do spotlight our employees too, to our current clients and make them aware that we're certified. And we also use it, I will tell you, every once in a while you get that call where a client will call and say, they want to see how they can, reduce their bill. We are very open about the reason that our bills may be a little bit higher is because we have certified employees, certified supervisors, and they generally understand that. And I can tell you it's helped with retention. We, as an organization, have very low turnover, almost unheard of in this industry. We've gone years with 0 turnover, which is, again, almost unheard of. Most of our employees are here 10 years plus, many 20 years plus. So there are so many opportunities where you can use this as a tool that it is, to us, it was a no-brainer. So if you haven't looked into certifying your staff, I think it's a great opportunity to do so.
Well, that's great, Kelly. That's a lot of information there. So before I just open it up to Q&A to us, maybe there's questions for Kelly out there. Is there anyone that would like to get a little bit more information, or to if you have a question for Kelly?
Linda, can you take Kelly off of Spotlight, please, so we can see everyone?
Yes. Thank you. Actually, I'm just going to get rid of the PowerPoint too, so that we can just have this conversation in a huddle. Yeah, any questions for Kelly specifically or for us?
Linda, just so you're aware, we also have Diana from our office. She recently, because she joined us not long ago, had been through some of the certification process. So I'm certain she'd be willing to answer a question specifically about what it's like as an employee to take the certification.
Yeah, why don't you speak to that? Like, just tell us a little bit about what that meant to you, what it looked like when you came in. And I know you're fairly new in our industry as well. So what did that look like for you?
Well, at first I was like a little overwhelmed. I won't lie, because you do think of answering service, and I'm in a kind of a managerial position, but I had to come in and learn, from the ground up. And I'll tell you what, these agents work very hard, and there's so many different types of calls and different types of clients. So yeah, it was a little overwhelming. I'm in year 2 now, and I was a little nervous, but they really prepared me well. Their training, Mary Ann and the supervisors were terrific. So I felt like I was really well prepared. I had study guides that I went over. So I passed. Thankfully, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. When we started with certification, we actually used this in what we call now the Coach You leadership training. And we had one in Ontario, and we had one out in Alberta. And so we had we had Dan LaRue with us. Michael Leibowitz was our president then. So he was there, and we actually gave them the exams in advance so that they could do their CSR. Oh, I should say CSR for supervisor certification. CSR certification is a prerequisite. So you have to go through that to get to the supervisor part. But
Okay.
what we did was we gave it out first. They did their exam, they came in, then it was scored and accredited creditor on site. They did their oral exam, and then we worked with them for their case studies. Now, they didn't complete everything in that day when we were all together personally, but the point being is that we want to set everyone up for success, not for failure. So besides the study guide and everything else, for those of you who haven't dipped your toe into this, there's lots more training that we can give you. So it's like a train the trainer, right? And again, like with these ladies right here that are so willing to share their experience. So again, I'm opening up the floor for any questions at this point.
Linda, I have to say too that getting involved with CAM-X, and being new to the industry and getting involved with other organizations and talking to other people, it's really helped me too understand the business a little bit better. And you share a lot of great ideas. Like Erica was saying, just put if you have any questions, just put it out there on our email. So I think that's been really helpful for me.
Yeah. And I think the ongoing training is pushing towards that, right? The accreditation is pushing you to keep learning and keep sharing.
Yeah, I agree.
Out of curiosity, how many in our group right now are certified with either the CSR supervisor? You can raise your little hand in the reaction too if you don't want to come off of mute.
Okay, this is a good new group.
Yeah.
Ryan, did you have a question?
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask, what would be how can I put this? The supervisor certification, would you recommend it more for new supervisors or people becoming supervisors, or is there a benefit for some of my tenure supervisors have been doing this for 5 years, 10 years in our company that have been supervisors to do it as well?
Oh, I would say everybody. Yeah, 100%. Like, if you're bringing in new, and again, I think it's your approach is going to be very important here. You're not going to dismiss the supervisors that have been doing the job for 10 years. And you also don't want, sometimes if they've been doing something for so long, they may think, well, it's an easy pass as compared to somebody who's new, right? Kelly, do you want to respond to that, because you've
Sure.
got that mix?
Sure. So when we adopted the program, many of our supervisors were already with us and had already been in that role. So it was very important to certify them as well, because they wanted to be able to say that they were certified as well. So just because they had been doing the job, they still wanted the accreditation and they wanted the acknowledgement. One of the really neat things that we found with the case study is, we understand that they're supervisors. I don't sit next to them every day. I don't see how they handle every situation. It was wonderful to see how they responded to each of the case studies to get an idea of what their style was. It really kind of opened our eyes to see that we had 5 supervisors with 5 different personalities and 5 different ways of handling things. So it allowed us to get an idea of what style they would use. And if we needed to do any training or if we needed to fine tune anything, it was definitely not a, like, oh, I'm going to fail or I'm going to pass kind of thing. However you responded to those case studies, 99% of the times is correct. It's just a different style. So it was interesting to see how each one of them replied to that. I mean, obviously, when it came down to testing, like how they would manage the reports and things, that was all kind of a pass-fail kind of thing. Like either know how to do it or you don't. But yeah, it was definitely beneficial to certify every one of our supervisors. We want them all to be on the same level. We want them all to feel as they are peers and they're equals to each other. So yeah, I think it's very beneficial to certify even your seasoned supervisors.
Awesome, thank you.
I think Candace had a question as well.
I was just going to ask, so you had just said that you have to do the CSR certificate first. Is it possible to do that within the last 30 days? Like, since I've been to quite a few of the things, so I would have credits, or do you have to do the whole year in order to get that?
Well, first of all, you have to go through CSR certification, and then you do your supervisor certification. And once you're certified, then your year starts, right? So
Okay.
you don't like you will be a new certified person. And then for the recertification is your learning to continue learning. So you'll start your learning by taking the exams the first time.
And we want you to keep coming to things, Candace.
Yes.
Don't stop.
We love your input.
I won't stop.
Good.
Can't stop me.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, Linda, and you and I had discussed this, as we were certified through SNUG and through ASCII, they don't have the continuing ed part of this. And I think it is magnificent that you guys are doing continuing ed. I think it really speaks volumes of how you want them to continue to learn and grow. And you're right. I have supervisors that have been here 20 years. Just because they were certified 10 years ago, they should have continuing ed. So that is a great service that CAM-X offers that it's not offered from the U.S. partnership at ASCII.
It's pushing it. I mean, there's a benefit all around for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the employee, the supervisor keeps growing his or herself. And for the company, that can only be a benefit. The more learning that your team does, the benefits, that they bring back from attending. I know for sure that when there's a useful webinar, a coach you, and there's nothing like being in person. There's nothing like being in person. They bring that back to the team. There's a new energy and they want to share that. So everybody is going to benefit from that kind of thing. And I will give credit where credit's due. We had a board member, her name was Kelly Doran, and she's no longer in the industry, but she came from a medical background. And so when we were doing this, she was on our board and said, hold on, especially with medical, you can't get certified and not keep it up. So that's where it all came from.
Yeah, and the industry has changed dramatically over the years. So my originally certified supervisors, I mean, they've evolved with the industry, but we'd like to make sure that they get credit for that too. So it's definitely a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah. And they do receive a letter, congratulating them on recertification. Eric is the one that actually handles all of that. We get the recerts in, then we'll send out the letters along with their year sticker for their watermark on there. And again, that keeps the certificate going, it grows and it shows that they've got, they had 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, and now 23. So it's a visual as well. Joey, I'm not really sure which company you're with. Would you mind coming on and letting us know a little bit about you?
Myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Shercall. I'm with Ryan's team.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm newer to the organization. I've been here about just a little over 6 months now.
Okay.
So yeah, no, just excited to kind of learn about everything. I'm also someone who's newer to this industry and everything. So it's really great that you have certifications and like stuff like this out there for people, especially coming in who are kind of new to the whole world that is, this environment. So I think it's great.
Super, glad you're joining us. And Travis, I'm not sure where you're from. Do you mind coming in and telling us?
Yeah, so I'm with Telelink. So I've been with them on and off for over the past 2 years because I'm a recent graduate and completed my work terms with them. And so while I've been there with like my work terms over the past 2 years, like I'd never really partook in any of the frontline side of things. So learning about this is all really cool. One question I did have though, is there like a yearly renewal fee for the certification?
No,
Okay, sweet.
no. Yeah, once you're certified, you don't have to pay us anymore for that. That work is done. So the work
Yeah.
is now up to, the supervisor for attending things and participating. And, not everyone can afford, not every company can afford to send people for in-person things. Economically is, our webinars, we charge, $75 and it's all inclusive because as soon as we went remotes, post-pandemic, for those who weren't remote, we don't get you can have unlimited logins, for everyone participating from home. But again, the listserv, it doesn't cost a cent to be able to participate in that. So that's encouragement for companies who can't afford to send everybody to everything. So yeah. And especially getting you guys out of off the island, eh?
That's right.
It's hard.
It's,
Just step
I
off
mean-
the island. It's a lot of money.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. We've got a team over in at Northern Communications, Deb, Tina, and Virginia. You guys want to pop in and say hi?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So any
we're
questions?
all we're various levels of supervisor here. So we've got Tina who and Virginia are newer, and then I'm a little older. So we're all looking forward to doing all the testing and getting certified.
Yeah, Deborah, you're seasoned. You're
I'm
not older, you're
seasoned, yes.
seasoned.
I'll be seasoned.
Great, good stuff. And I know that you're just about to go through your certification right now because we're talking about it. So this is fantastic. Dieta from Teleconnect International, how you doing over there?
Sorry, I'm in the process of training as well, so I'm kind of doing two things at once.
Multitasking.
I'm doing well. I'm multitasking, yes.
Okay.
I'm doing well.
Hi, Diana.
Hi. It's good to see everybody.
Yeah.
No, actually, I don't. I'm kind of excited to go through this. Unfortunately, I didn't realize I had to do the CSR part first. So I guess I'm starting from ground zero.
Yeah.
So Leslie and I have been talking about it, and we have 2 other operators that we think we're going to sign up for as well.
Good.
So
good. And
yes.
I mean, you can sign up all of your agents. It doesn't mean that all of them are going to progress to the supervisor part. I mean, but I think that, again, what Kelly's doing in her organization, and again, a big shout out to Chris Bell, the owner, because he's one of the founders of all of this. And he really pushed for it, which was great. So yeah, good stuff. And Roxanne, she's with On Call Center in Ottawa. Roxanne, how are you doing?
No audio.
Yeah, we got you. We can hear you.
Oh, you get okay.
You.
Yeah, I've been with On Call for 35 years, and I started as an agent, went through all of the steps basically, and now I manage the call center. So this is of interest because I have 2 agents that I feel they could be good supervisors, but I'd like to actually have a little bit more knowledge as to their style, their learning. And definitely the word standard, everybody goes through the same type of training that goes beyond, because with CAM-X and accident mystery calls, I keep telling all my agents, it's across the board, right? It's every account we should be this way. And that's the kind of thing I'm hoping to find with this program, basically. So I'm looking forward to maybe some sample kind of case studies that we can look at to see if it's going to match. And I just had a question for the agent one. Is it specific to your platform?
Yes, yeah,
Got you. Okay.
yeah, it really is specific. Now, again, offline, each of you can contact me. If we don't have the platform specific for you, we'll make sure that we update it. We're currently updating the Telco because the software has upgraded so much over the past, and I know that the StarTel one was upgraded as well. But we'll make sure that we have the right fit for you and for
Okay.
your organization. So that's cool.
All right. Thank you.
Any last questions before we call it?
Linda, we're in mid-change, so how
Yes.
would that affect it?
Well, we'll deal with that. That's a one-on-one. That'll be a specific.
So
We're not going to set you up for failure. That's for sure. We're gonna make sure that we push for success for everybody. Okay. I just want to say a special thank you to Kelly and Diana for coming in, especially Kelly for sharing all of that with us, because I think that if anybody can read about certification, but you've given you've given us the gem. You're digging for the diamond, and you've given us that, because that's what it really means. So and so on so many levels with sales and marketing and of course the retention within your organization. So I thank you very much for sharing that with us.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah,
Kelly.
and feel free to email me if anybody has any questions or reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer any questions one-on-one too.
Okay, good. Okay, and everybody here, this was recorded. There's a few people that couldn't make it today, so I was recording it for them. But if you wanted to share this with other people, part of your team, just let me know and I'll shoot you over a copy of this, okay? So for everybody who attended, thank you again to all of you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Linda. Thank you,
everyone.
Arthur.
Okay,
Bye
thanks,
now.
guys.
Thanks,
Bye-bye now.
Kelly.
Thank
Bye.
you.